What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight, from debates, a world title match going on, and a lot of tag team matches in the first hour of this entire show. There is a lot to talk about, but we do kick it off with everybody in the ring already in this 12-man tag of the Elite and FTR versus the Dark Order, of course, with Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Grayson, Uno, and whoever the other guys are, 5, 12, 9. I don't give a fuck who these guys are, but I know they're Anna J and 10 in the corner over there, but like I said, this was a 10-man tag, which I'll say that, that's sorry, 12-man tag. I will say this. This was better than that 10-man tag last week. At least I somewhat cared a little bit more, and it kind of had me interested in a few of the moves in this, because last week, I just didn't care about whatever the fuck that 10-man tag was. It's like when Taz said there's a lot of talent in the ring, like, what, 70% of it? Because it wasn't a lot, to be honest, and that was bad last week. It felt dead. This one was at least a little bit better. I'll say that. It like I said, was better than last week. Now, I know a lot of people talking about how, I think when FTR got hurt, I think it was Hardwood there. He hurt his leg, and when he was holding his knee, referees and them helped, him to the back with his partner. I'm trying to go by their new names. I'm trying not to call him Dash and Dawson, but Hardwood and Wheeler. Yeah, Wheeler was helping him, and then Hangman, they pretty much helped him to the back, so it turned into a 3-on-6 then in this tag match then after that, which basically left the Elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks out there. Pretty much Cabana, of course, in the Chicago skyline onto one of the Bucks. Omega pretty much came in, broke it up then. 5 pretty much, they double stomp on Omega then right after that. The Bucks then came back to pretty much save Omega after they pretty much did their finisher. Well, just Grayson and Uno onto I think it was Paige, because Paige came back, and pretty much Paige came in kicking everybody's ass at one point, pretty much taking everybody out, just dives all over the place, even his big moonsault to the outside of the ring. But after they got hit with the, like I said, Grace Uno hit their double finisher on both of Omega and Paige. The Bucks, of course, come in for a super kick party, taking everybody out with super kicks, and even doing a Snapdragon super kick onto one Dark Order members with Omega. Hangman was setting up for the Buckshot Lariat. Well, it was going to be the Buckshot Trigger if you had Kenny Omega's V-Trigger and whatnot. But the Dark Order ended up taking them down. Omega basically missed onto Brody Lee, and Brody Lee ended up pretty much dodging and hitting his discus lariat, which I thought it looked like he missed the move, to be honest. He hit it, but it just, when you look at the replay, it's like it barely even hit him, and but Hangman just did a backflip in general just to sell the whole move, okay? That's what it kind of looked like for me. Just go back and look at the replay, you'll see what I'm talking about. As I'm not saying he didn't hit it all the way, but it looked like he missed it, okay? It really did. And I didn't even expect Hangman to even come back. I'm surprised Hangman took the fall in this, okay? He's the guy I feel like you didn't need to take the fall, but I got to remember Brody Lee trying to get his payback on Hangman, so I guess I can understand from that. But not the person I expected to get the pin, take the pinfall right here. I actually thought it'd be one of the Bucks. And honestly, I should say for once, the Dark Order got a win, because yes, Brody Lee needed a win ever since he lost to Moxley from a while ago, because the guy hasn't really won any type of match. Then again, this whole group needed to win a match, to be honest, because all they really do is take L's all the time. They lose, they lose, they lose. I don't give a shit about the Dark Order in general, Dork Order, whatever. I just still think this gimmick fucking sucks, and Brody Lee I still feel is miscasted, but at least they got a win, okay? It got a win this time, because they never get a win, all right? They really never get a win, so at least they finally got one right here. But like I said before, this 12-man tag was better than that very bad 10-man tag from last week. John Moxley was sitting somewhere pretty much talking about Darby Allin in his match tonight, as he talked about how people told him in the past, not to do these death matches or fight this guy in his career very early on, and he wished he would have listened, but a part of him says he wouldn't change a thing at the same time, and he understands why Darby Allin challenged him. He knows what he's trying to do, because it's ironic, because, he's the one that advocates now for a voice of reason, and kind of concerned for his health and whatnot, because the last time he wrestled him, damn it, broke his neck. and he says it weighs heavily on him. But, he looks at Darby Allin and talked about he's one of his favorite guys in AEW, but he's going to do what he's got to do. And pretty much, he wouldn't try to talk Darby out of anything, but all he can hope he does, if he goes down, he better stay down. But he knows he's not going to listen because he would do the same thing if he was in that position like him right now. So, very good promo from Moxley. Next, the best friends who arrived in Trent's mom's van, Sue, and they went against Santana Ortiz, LAX. I wish they was LAX again, to be honest with you, because I feel like this Inner Circle thing has not really benefited them ever since they really been in this group for a while now. And yeah, I look at this match between them going against the best friends. It was whatever, to be honest, but I'm talking to my friend earlier in the night as we're watching this match. I said, hey, remember when Santana and Ortiz used to be the shit a while ago when they were in Impact? Yeah, they were, and they put on way better matches too. Okay, they really did. And, a lot of this match, I swear the commentators just kept talking about Trent's mom and the van this, the van that. I felt like that's a lot they were talking about throughout this entire match. And the match wasn't bad in general, but I was just kind of waiting for, I bet you Santana and Ortiz take another L in this. And what happens? They take another L, and Chuck Taylor ends up getting a roll-up onto Ortiz for the win, and the best friends beat them. Like I said before, and I don't care if anybody tries to disagree with me with this, Santana Ortiz were way better when they were in Impact as LAX. I even said tonight they low-key need Conan with them right now because this Inner Circle thing is not working. Or help, even put Kingston back with him. He was with them for a minute in LAX when they were doing that LAX Civil War storyline going on and whatnot with Kingston. That at least came off even more believable because right now it's almost like I'm watching just two random. They feel random now. Or they just face random guys every other week, and then they lose. And even I'm wondering, why they keep taking so many L's. I know everybody wants to say, well, the tag team division's already booked enough. Okay, yeah, that's true, but man, these are some top tier guys here. You got them losing almost every other week on this show. That don't make no sense, okay? And don't worry, we're gonna see them again in a second, but I just have to why are LAX here losing to the best friends? That didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And like I said, they have just been taking L after L after L after L. So I stand by my statement when I say they were booked way better in Impact and they look like a force to be reckoned with. Right now, they just feel random. They feel like random guys right now, and it's not even the same. It ain't the same two dudes. It's really not, okay? They like I said, They need Conan back. I wish they was LAX again, but they not about to do that over here, okay? They don't own the rights to it. But other than that tag match, they then went to MJF and Wardlow. I guess they were at an office, and I guess at a campaign headquarters, pretty much talking about their plans when MJF gets the world title, and that he is 100% in the polls right now, while Jon Moxley has negative 88%. So the polls show that, and he had posters and pins, and he was mad at this one dude because why is this poster like this? And told, I guess, his secretary, whoever the girl was, to smile. And they said, what happens if Darby Allin beats Jon Moxley? And he says, oh, so you mean the 125-pound emo kid? Yeah, I'm not really worried about him, okay? I thought that was actually pretty funny when he said that. So another good promo from MJF. Matt Hardy, which I guess he's regular Matt Hardy this week, or Stronger Than Death Matt Hardy, since he had the T-shirt on, talked about how he came to AEW and wanted to work so he could be respected. And, he had a blast with his multiverse, but he says he listens to his audience and, he's just going to be himself right now, the Stronger Than Death version. So I guess he's not broken Matt Hardy or whatever version he is. I don't know about what his multiverse thing has been going on lately. I keep seeing some of the videos or something about, I think he's on Being the Elite, because you can't even tell what Matt Hardy's coming out every week now. It could be Broken Matt Hardy. It could be Matt Hardy version 1. It could be Big Money Matt. It could be, I guess, this version, regular Hardy Boy Matt Hardy, or Omega Matt Hardy, or Stronger Than Death Matt Hardy. It's like, 6 different versions of him. So I guess he's just going to be Stronger Than Death Matt Hardy right now. And he talked about he still wants to give back, as he talked about how Private Party remind him of him and his brother Jeff. And He said he's going to have their backs when they need it. And he said, he wanted to help Sammy Guevara, but he's under the control of Chris Jericho. And pretty much he talked about being attacked behind by him. And, he says, I'm going to hurt you rather than help you. Next thing you know, Sammy Guevara pretty much came in and attacked Matt Hardy from behind. Next thing you know, they brawled. And he says, Sammy, I knew you come. And, he's broken Matt Hardy for a second. And pretty much as they pretty much were brawling, Matt ended up putting Guevara through the announce table, and then he set up another table. It was going to go for a twist of fate, but Guevara pretty much knocked him into the ring post. He put him on the table. He threw a chair at Matt Hardy's head, which caused him to bleed very heavily then. And you can go back and look at the footage. It smacked him right in the head. So he must have cut Matt Hardy real bad for all the blood to be coming up from that. And Guevara ended up doing like this big 630 move or something onto Matt Hardy, putting him through the table as Matt was just bleeding all over the place from his head. And pretty much then, like I said before, with the van, they actually went to Santana and Ortiz, pretty much destroying Trent's mom's van. Sue, his mom's name is, and they pretty much took baseball bats and pretty much spray painted over it, and pretty much says, tell your moms it's good, what's good, all right, what's real good. So I guess we are continuing this whole thing now with a van and the best friends and Santana Ortiz, which I'm not sure where this feud is really gonna go, but yeah, you just knew that Van was going to be involved since they've been talking about the Van ever since that match almost like 6 different times now. So, yeah, Santana Ortiz, they destroyed the Van and are in this feud still. But next, we got the in-ring debut of Matt Cardona and Cody Rhodes versus the Dark Order, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. Listen, there's not much to say about this tag match. Basically a basic tag. Cardona won with the I can't even say Rough Rider anymore, but I guess the leg lariat then for the win. Basically, it was a basic tag match, if you ask me. It wasn't bad or anything, but this was just to, get the ring rust off of Cardona, since he's not Zack Ryder anymore and he hasn't been in the ring in a while. This was just, just to get him over. That's basically what it was, and just to put him in the ring and get the ring rust on, since we can see him again on there. But as Cody was leaving, Scorpio Sky ended up coming through the entrance, pretty much looked at Cody and looked at that TNT title and knocked on it. So next week we will get Scorpio Sky versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. That should be a really good match. Honestly, we haven't seen any of SCU in a minute right now, and like I said before, I swear they were trying to push Scorpio Sky at one point when they had video packages of him. I don't know what happened to that, and it just kind of felt like he just started jobbing everybody again, but maybe something can happen with this if he's going for the TNT title now. So that should be a good match next week. Scorpio Sky is real good. Next, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta were basically standing by the van. I don't know what happened to the wheels, but they were gone. And basically, listen, if you guys want to go against us, do whatever you want, but leave his mom out of it, as Chuck Taylor said. And pretty much says, you guys want a rematch, we'll give you one. And when we beat you, you guys are going to apologize to his mom via speakerphone. So that's what's going to happen. Sammy Guevara came out, which of course he had his note cards and everything, which which is always funny to see. We haven't seen those in a while. And he talked about how he called himself a master debater. I want you to think about that for a second. Master debater. So that's pretty funny. Next, we got the debate. The great debate here. The debate between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. For the moderator, and there were fireworks too, we got Eric Bischoff. Basically, welcome to WCW Nitro in the year 1999 right now on TNT. So, yes, we've now come full circle. Eric Bischoff is here, so he hasn't been on TNT in 20 years since WCW. So, yeah, welcome to Monday Night Nitro, folks. Okay, I should say Wednesday Night Nitro right now. So, welcome to WCW. I heard Bischoff was going to be here since he's been talking so good about AEW lately, and a lot of people were saying, let's just hope he remembers what he's doing, because since then they say when he was in WWE, he didn't even know half the guys' names there, whatever that job he had at the time, that didn't last long, and whatnot. So we got Eric Bischoff to be the guest moderator, and the minute he came out, all I could think was, I'm back and better than ever. I'm back. You know how the song goes. That's always think about when Bischoff comes out. But yes, since we're at WCW right now, we get Chris Jericho to come out. 2008 Chris Jericho with his suit, of course, with Jake Hager, as Orange Cassidy came out in his regular clothes with a tie on. And the first question Eric Bischoff had in this debate is, why do they hate each other so much? Jericho pretty much said that it was nice that Cassidy, he dressed up for this, but he basically had his regular attire on and talked about how Orange Cassidy thinks he's this big deal, but he's really not. And pretty much say he's a piece of shit. And, everybody wants to say he's this great wrestler or better than him, but he's not. And Cassidy pretty much didn't really say anything. He was still silent. And then the next question, Bischoff said, who is the bigger star? Chris Jericho pretty much says, listen, which is not even a debate compared to Orange Cassidy, as he said, that, of course, Jericho's been the biggest star. He's wrestled all over the world, multi-time world champion. Just several championships, great matches. Like, Chris Jericho could basically go on a whole resume of himself, or the 1004 great things about Chris Jericho. See what I'm going with right there? Hey, that's another WCW for 1004 holds, I should say. But he said he was better than Cassidy, and that, Cassidy jacket smelled bad. And once again, Eric Bischoff asked Orange Cassidy for his response. He didn't say anything. Eric Bischoff then pretty much went on to the third question, where what are your thoughts on the global sea levels that are rising? I guess the climate and whatnot. Jericho said that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Next question. And then Orange Cassidy actually talked this time, which honestly they need to get this guy to talk sooner or later, and spoke about a whole bunch of stuff about global warming, which I didn't even know what he was talking about. But he basically went on a whole political thing about global warming, and I guess people were cheering for it then. So he basically talked real intelligent and basically smart about the global, global warming right now, and spoke facts, I should say. He spoke a lot of facts right there. So the crowd cheered for that, which I think the crowd is cheering. But then again, I'm hearing that they've been piping in cheers lately, of course, because half those guys don't look really enthusiastic to cheer. And by the way, thank God these people in the crowd got masks again, because I don't know why they weren't wearing masks last week. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. And next question was, why is Orange Cassidy so popular? Jericho basically said he's the epitome of a smart mark watching from home. Where have I heard that one from before, eh? And Jericho pretty much said he's a pimp on the pro wrestling business, and he's going to pop Cassidy next week, and he's going to pay for the $7,000 jacket that he messed up, which he's still carrying that jacket around that has still full of orange juice and whatnot, and that Cassidy can go back to the mall and make a smoothie and everything, and pretty much says, I'm not going to tip you also. Got it? So basically, like I said, Jericho still shit on him and everything, because people want to put him over on the internet. Dave Meltzer, of course, I'm sure that's a thing. But Eric Bischoff's final question was, why does this rematch mean so much to you guys? And Jericho basically said, he was about to talk, but Orange Cassidy told him to shut up. And he says, why are we even doing this debate? You scheduled this debate to pretty much go against a guy who doesn't even talk to try to embarrass me. But he's not embarrassed because he doesn't care about this. But he does care about this match. And he says the biggest match of his career. And Cassidy, this is also the biggest match of Jericho's career, because Chris Jericho said, you've done it all, right? But what if Chris Jericho loses to a guy that puts his hands in his pockets? He says, I want you to look at me and look into my eyes, and you know what I'm going to do to you? And I'm going to embarrass you, because next week, I'm going to be the man that's going to beat you. As Jericho pretty much looked surprised then, as Orange Cassidy put his glasses back on. So that was actually not a bad promo from Cassidy. I will say that. At least that made you a little bit hyped for this match next week. I didn't really want to see a rematch in general, but at least now it's got something to it to make you care a little bit more about this. as Eric Bischoff basically said Orange Cassidy is the winner of this debate. Jericho says, how is he the winner? He didn't win. And Eric Bischoff's like, well, I was blown away by his whole global warming thing. And Jericho pretty much says, I haven't liked you for the past 22 years. And Bischoff says, 24 years. I already know how you feel about me. And Jericho pretty much says, you know what? I'm not going to wait to kick the shit out of you next week. I'm going to kick the shit out of you right now. So Jericho and Hager pretty much attacked him then. The best friends pretty much came in for the save after Jericho hit the Judas effect on Cassidy. So we'll see what happens next week. And listen, I don't know if they're really going to have Cassidy go over Jericho, because Jericho did beat him the first time, and they may have him win again. Or they'll probably put Cassidy over. I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I still think this is until Mike Tyson comes in to face Jericho at All Out. This is just giving Jericho something to do until further notice. I didn't think this feud would last as long, though, to be honest. But for the debate itself, I'll say this. It was actually pretty good. I was entertained by it, by some of it. And it was good to see Eric Bischoff back on this show again, since, this is basically WCW Nitro right now. But it was just good to see him on TV in general. And I will say I got a good laugh out of the debate, so it wasn't that bad. Next, probably the worst segment out of it, or just the worst thing out of this entire night. They went to Britt Baker, who was wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey. Please don't wear that shit in. And this is about my city, okay? It was a Bulls one. I think it was a Michael Jordan one. And Rebel was there and pretty much said that she's going to face Big Swole for some reason. Rebel got in the ring, and Big Swole came out. Listen, this match was not really good. And listen, I've seen Rebel wrestle before, and she's not really the best in the ring. And I know it's been a while, because some of it did look a little bit clunky out there. The moonsault didn't look bad, but, Big Swole still ended up winning anyways, and just winning the match. But listen, like I said, Rebel is not really the best wrestler, even from what I saw her did in Impact. I thought she did okay. That's all I can say from this. Even in Impact, she did okay. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole match with Shelly Martinez, which everybody talks about. That was so bad, but a lot of that is blamed on Shelly, to what I've heard. And trust me, I've seen the match myself. It's really bad, but this was very rough to watch. I will say that. Like I said, I don't know how long it's been since Rebel's been in the ring, since the last time I saw her in Impact, and that would have probably been like a year ago or two. So I don't know. So, but at least she was actually in the ring. But this is probably the worst thing of the entire night. Like I said before, Britt Baker, she gets more TV time than the champion herself. And my friend brought this up to me tonight that AEW creates this whole whatever $50 thing for some for the women and whatnot, and I guess Brandy came up with whatever this whole pyramid scheme or whatever people been telling me about, this whole heels thing that they came up with for this $50 subscription. My friend Steven told me this, that, hey, they can expose the women what they can, but they can barely get them on TV or into the ring most of the time. Because you see why they have that tournament on YouTube and not on TV, okay? Because I heard that shit was real bad the other night. And I actually saw some of it, and it was really bad, okay, given who was in it. Okay, Brandy Rose in the ring, Cameron in the ring, you know it's going to be a disaster. And trust me, them matches did look pretty shitty on there. So it's the reason why that whole women's tournament is on YouTube and not even on TV right now, because that's basically a whole episode of Botchamania then, okay? So that's why it's really that bad. And this whole segment that they just did right here is really bad too. So, hey, they got time to come up with $50 subscriptions though, but like I said, the booking of the women is just, like I said, the women on this show are almost just the worst thing on this show every week, okay? There's probably like a couple small glimmers of hope sometimes from like maybe 3 or 4 people, but a majority of the week, this is probably the lowest point of the show, is the women most of the time. And this right here was the lowest segment out of the entire night. But in the main event, though, we got Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin for the AEW World Title. Darby came out with a picture of Mox's face on his face, which had an eye pretty much poking out of it. And pretty much as the bell rang, Mox knocked off the photo off his face, and Darby slapped him. Mox punched him dead in the fucking mouth, which he came up bleeding then. this was real good. I will say this. This was not a bad match. It was one thing I could say about Darby Allin is when this guy does a suicide dive out to the ring, he makes sure he hits you with everything. It doesn't look bad where he's just pushing you off. He hits you with his whole freaking body and crashes into your ass and knocks you into that railing to make that shit hurt. And that was real good. I did like that. But this was, like I said, this was good. Darby trying to go for a coffin drop on the outside. Was really good on top of Mox. Mox was, able to kick out and everything. As this match went on, Wardlow came out and MJF came in and knocked Jon Moxley with the AEW title, which caused him to bleed. Darby Allin did hit a coffin drop right after, and Mox kicked out of it. And as Mox was bleeding then, Darby kept punching him and pretty much hitting a drop kick onto him and then hitting his cutter on him. But as Darby went for another coffin drop, Mox caught him and put him into a sleeper hold, pretty much bringing him up. Where have I seen this before? And hits him with a Gotch-style power driver. I know somebody that does that in New Japan. I think you all know what I'm talking about. But he does the Gotch-style power driver on him, and I'm surprised that Darby kicked out at 1. But Mox pretty much had to end this. He ended up hitting with a Death Rider right after that and winning the match. And he pretty much helped Darby up after. And, he was out cold, but he was still helping him up. This was basically, I would say, the best match out of this entire show. This was good. Real good. Honestly, I thought this show was way better than last week. Last week's show wasn't really that good. This one was actually a better improvement this week. And I thought Mox and Darby beat the hell out of each other out there. Darby Allin can take a beating. I will say that. He can take a very, very big beating out there. And that's what he did tonight. Especially after that Gotch-style power driver. I'm surprised he kicked out of it. And even just hitting them coffin drops looked deadly at the time, too. Hell, Mox knocked the shit out of his ass in the beginning of that match with that punch. That was deadly itself. But, yeah, Mox still ended up getting the win. MJF was pissed in the back. But we already know that the AEW title will be on the line at All Out between Jon Moxley and MJF. So, watch out for that. But, like I said, this was a very, very good match. And basically, I would say maybe the best out of the night. So, a way better show than from last week. Now, throughout the entire first hour, we got nothing but tag team matches, which were semi-okay on some parts. I did like the Guevara and Matt Hardy thing that was going on. Like I said, a lot of blood in this, too. Especially that chair that was thrown at Matt's head, so that wasn't bad. The debate was actually kind of entertaining between Jericho and Cassie out there, so I got a couple good laughs from that. The main event, I thought, was the best match out of the entire night. Worst thing on this show, I could say, was just the women's segment between Big Swole and, Britt Baker and Rebel and whatnot. Okay, that was basically the worst thing. Like I said, Britt Baker, she gets way more TV time than the champion or any other woman on this show, and she's not even wrestling right now. She's hurt. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Character standpoint, I don't mind. Some people say it's just a being annoying heel and go away heat, but I will say she does have a character in this. But in ring, we already know she's that bad, okay? But how she gets this much TV time, I'll never know. But like I said, this was a better show than last week, all right? So I actually thought it was pretty more enjoyable this time on AEW this week. I know it's going to be a lot of different schedule changes coming in for AEW since the NBA is back up now, and I know they're a big part of TNT. I heard AEW is moving some dates on some different schedules. I don't have them in front of me right now, so I'm not going to go over it, but I have read it, because I think AEW may be playing on Thursday in like the next week or two, and then they're supposed to be playing on a Saturday, and then one of them happened at the same time during TakeOver. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see what happens from there. But other than that, though, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about AEW Dynamite tonight. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Tell me what you think about this show. What was your favorite part of this entire show tonight? Because I actually thought it was actually really good tonight. So tell me what you think about AEW. But other than that, it's me, the HWD, coming at the news and reviews. Know what I do. Keep it out of sight. We are done with this. I ain't JJ, but this is Dynamite. Okay? So good times there. That's a joke for you. All right? I'm out here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. See you for my NXT review later on.